Hello, this is Diana from Artfully Yours, and today I'm going to, for this hashtag event, which is about fantasy art, I'm going to show artwork that I've done in past years because I've done quite a bit of abstract slash surrealistic slash fantasy artwork. Um, and and it's quite different from the artwork that I've been doing on YouTube since I've become a YouTube artist in the past couple months. I do different kind of art. I do different kind of artwork more recently than I really than really what is considered the style of my work. And so I wanted to show really what the kind of work I really do is, and has been for most of my artistic career. So I'm going to switch it now to, it's going to be like a slideshow, and I'm going to just talk about six different pieces, and they're in different mediums. So I'm going to switch this now and see. Hopefully this switch goes smoothly because I'm going to mirror my iPad now, which has the photographs of my artwork. Hello. Um, so I'm going to show six pieces of artwork that I've done between more recently until like maybe the past 10 years up until more recently. And these six pieces really um, have to do with humanity and relationship with nature. And this one's called Bleeding Beehive, and it is 24 by 36 inches, mixed media on canvas. And the because there's the concern for the disappearance of honeybees all over the world, this this was kind of inspired by that. Um, I don't know if you want to say inspired, like influenced by that. And inside the honeycomb, we see I put in figures that are in fetal position. I did not paint those. Now this is what makes it mixed media, is that it's basically acrylic painting with collage in it. So the fetal figures are cut out collage pictures, and they're each in their own little beehive section. And um, so at the top, it's kind of like I kind of like made like the world like splitting apart. And then there's one up at the top. There's like one painted in white, which makes it more like a ghostly figure, like it represents the disappearance. And the people in the beehive sections, of course, representing the fetal position, representing a kind of um, hopeless and grief, um, representing the feeling of grieving. And then there's one over to the right middle, which is a one of the honeybees that has just my mouth, a picture of my mouth open wide, like it's screaming. And here I show how it is like so it is kind of showing an interaction between humanity and nature, in that the humans are inside the beehive and there's human faces on the honeybees. So were just kind of my ideas of what I'm thinking when I created this. But of course, it's open to interpretation, and I hope the viewer sees their own things and has their own ideas also, because I try not to be too literal. That is kind of like one of my one of my downfalls that I have to work on, of not being too literal in my artwork and leave it a little bit more with ambiguity, so that there's room for the viewer to participate and kind of have guess have own their own thoughts and ideas of a piece. So I'm going to go to the second one. This one's called Shine Down. So we see rays of light. I call it this because there's a song that I really like called Shine Down. And here we see the rays of light. She's looking up into the rays of light as if that's rays of light of hope, looking up into the light. And for me, the light represents hope, and it represents a spiritual idea, spiritual concepts. And so here the woman is half zebra, half human, and this is digital art, and I use photographs, and I manipulate them and edit them and overlay them and make them less opaque, more opaque, and I mix up photographs and so that one photograph might show through another photograph. So I'm going to go to the third one. No. Yes. Okay. This one's called Creatures of the Night. Oh, excuse me, I had to talk to my husband. He was asking me something. So, this one is a more recent piece, probably in the last year I did this. Digital art, and again, an interrelationship between humanity and nature. And I really like how I made the figure like disappear in the middle. And so we only see parts of the figure. Excuse me. And that's so I just hope that that's kind of all I have to say about this one. Um, and I hope that I have enough ambiguity in there that the viewer brings something to it and can have their own ideas and thoughts about this. So I'm going to go to the next one. This one's called Evolution of Soul. It's 12 inches by 24 inches, encaustic and oil and collage on wood. And I have done quite a bit of encaustic painting, which is painting with molten beeswax, and we use a heat gun and a heat plate, and there's pigmented beeswax and non-pigmented, and you can get some very nice translucent effects. It works well, and you can get really good texture with the oil paint and when the oil paint on top of the encaustic. So here it is, like it just, you can't really tell that it's a figure too much. In my mind, it's definitely a figure, is what I was thinking, and it's part underground. It's part of, like, it's as if it's a part of nature growing out of the ground. The light is in the center of the figure, which to me that's represents spiritual ideas of the light. And evolution of soul has to do with some of my spiritual beliefs. And the so that's about all I have to say about that one. I was really happy how this turned out. All the shades of brown that are showing under the ground, and I got some good textures with the encaustic. And yes, I put in collage pieces here of my own my own digital art. I incorporated into the painting. This one I did, it's all these I've done within the past 10 years, some more recently than others. This is one of my older pieces, closer to about 10 years ago. Okay, so I'm going on to the next one. Here it's called Striped Nude with Zebras. And yeah, I really had fun with this. This is digital art done more recently, probably in the past year, because I did have I had a solo online exhibition of my surrealistic art. And this, yeah, I digitally manipulated the photo to be striped like that, and play around with the colors, so it has a green face. And again, I really like how it's expressing my ideas of the interrelationship between humanity and nature, where the figure is practically looking like a zebra herself, and the clouds and the colors kind of a little bit ominous, because this relationship between humanity and nature, a lot of problems, how man is ruining the earth little by little. And I'm getting ready to show the next one. I think it'll probably be the last one. So this is La Femme Fantastique, which means fantastic woman in French. I did live a year and a half in France during my junior year in college. I have a minor in French. My major was art. And here again, it's digital art. And so here again, it's like this the interrelationship between humanity and nature. The butterfly, like she has a blue face. Is she a real person? She's a fantasy woman, but she has like a butterfly wing on the side of her head. Is that really growing outside? Is that really growing out of her head, or is that just a decoration? And then it's like she's coming out of the flower, and the dove is flying very close by, as if the dove is not afraid, and maybe they have a good relationship. And so this is more of like a happy piece about the relationship between nature and art, because we have a lot to learn from nature. And so I hope that you can have your own ideas and thoughts about this. And thank you for watching. Please like or comment, and I'll see you in the next video.